What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Bourbon of the Week. My name's Chris. I'm going to be your host for today. And today on our second set in 2 videos, by the way, we're trying to get the set down. This is something I just kind of put together for right now until we get our bar built. We're going with Weller Antique 107. This is a bottle that I have not reviewed yet. I don't know how. As you can tell, I'm pretty much more than halfway done this bottle. We did Weller's versus Maker's Mark, and Weller took the clean sweep. The Special Reserve, the Antique 107, and the Full Proof all won over the Maker's Marks. We did like the original Maker Mark, the Cask Strength, and then the Cask Strength 46 as well. So Weller definitely deserves its spot in the top of the wheated world. The question is, we have Larceny Barrel Proof at the top of the list right now, and can it beat that? But everybody knows before we get started, time for the traditional sip. Cheers, y'all. It's damn good. So welcome. If you're new to the channel, what we do here is we rank all the bourbons in my collection on a scale of 10, 2 decimal points out on 3 different criteria: price, taste, drinkability. We like to start with drinkability, which basically is how much ethanol kick there is compared to the proof. Now this comes in at 107 proof, hence the name Weller Antique 107. So this is a Buffalo Trace product owned by Sazerac. It's an undisclosed mash bill, non-age stated. We know it's at least 2 years old because it's a straight bourbon. We know it's at least 51% corn, and it has wheat in it instead of rye as the second grain, obviously the third grain being malted barley. But I think, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately, is Buffalo Trace seems to get a pass when it comes to not disclosing anything, right? Now, they obviously have the reputation, they have the history behind the name, but I know there's a lot of companies that are putting out products now, and I talk about them all the time, such as like Kentucky Owl. You don't know anything about that product. Now, obviously, that's sourced. It's not coming from a particular distillery that we know. So there is a difference, but at the same time, I would like to see Buffalo Trace start to put out more products and tell us a little bit more about them rather than having us guess along the way. But like I said, Buffalo Trace does have the reputation, so we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Weller Antique 107 is one of those things that everybody hunts. If you're from Ohio or you're from Texas, you can probably get it a little bit easier than the rest of us. This is the gold standard right now. Everything from Buffalo Trace seems to be. Blanton's, even these Wellers trade on the secondary market for crazy value. So let's get into this. Enough about that. For the Bourbon Bomb of the Week, we will be talking about William Larue Weller and a little bit of his story. But let's get into this. 107 proof. Let's talk about drinkability. I mean, it sips super easy, which is exactly what you're expecting from Buffalo Trace. Being the wheated mash bill over the rye as well, you're going to lose a lot of that spice, which people seem to confuse with ethanol. But for this at 107 proof, I mean, it easily sips under that. I'd put it in a blind, probably in that 90 to 95 proof range. So I'm going to give this a really good score when it comes to drinkability on this. One more sip, and then we'll give it 1. Yeah, I mean, it's just super smooth. I'm going to give it like an 8.97 when it comes to drinkability on this. I absolutely love it. So while drinkability is absolutely fantastic on this, taste is really where this bottle shines. When I first started drinking whiskey, I didn't know much about mash bills, right? I drank what I liked what I drank, and that was the end of it. Then I started to learn more and more about what I liked and why I liked it, and I really enjoyed ryes, whether it be rye whiskeys or high rye bourbons. But now as I've moved into the Larcenys, into the Maker's Marks, and into these Wellers, I'm starting to realize that maybe, just maybe, wheated bourbons might be my favorite. That being said, this bottle right here is absolutely perfect for my particular palate. Now, you're getting dark fruit notes on this, you're getting cherry notes on this, and you're getting a little bit of a spice on this as well, but it's not really a rye spice as much as it is like a cinnamon spice. When I grew up, we used to get toast out, you put a little bit of butter on it and cinnamon and sugar, and that was it. That was breakfast in the morning with some eggs and some bacon, and it was absolutely wonderful, and that's kind of what I'm picking up on this. You get that sugary note, but you still get a little bit of spice from the cinnamon. You get a creamy, leathery, everything going on in this bottle. So well balanced, so well put together. Absolutely fantastic, again, for my particular palate. It's right up there with that Larceny Barrel Proof. I think the lower proof actually does a little bit better for this particular bottle. I don't know how it would do against like 120 proof compared to the 107 proof. So for that, let's take one more sip and let's give this a score on taste. I mean, it's got to be up there in the 9s. I'm going to go with like a 9.61. 9.61 when it comes to taste on this. I don't know what else you're really looking for if you don't like this bottle right here. And last but certainly not least, that's going to get us into price on this. And I know what you're thinking. You can't find this bottle at MSRP, and you're probably right. This is definitely a tough bottle to buy. We don't put availability in any of these scores because I don't think it's fair that a bottle that you can't get should get a lower score than a bottle that you can get just strictly based off availability. But at $50 MSRP, this bottle is an absolute steal, and I don't see it staying that way. Although the market has changed dramatically, and this bottle hasn't moved all that much. It's definitely gone up. But at $50, I don't hate this bottle at all. I'm going to take another sip. We always like to keep price short because it's pretty obvious. Drinkability is fantastic, taste is fantastic, and the price is right in line with what it should be. I always do comparables, and there's plenty of $50 bottles out there, but I think this is one of the better ones at that price point. Let's see here. This thing keeps squeaking. Let's put it right in the middle, 9.31 when it comes to price on this. Absolutely fantastic bottle. If you have the opportunity to get this bottle, even if you want to pay a little bit over MSRP for it, I won't hate you for it. That is a fantastic pour. But as you know on this channel, we don't just like to drink whiskey, we like to learn about it as well. So let's learn a little bit more about William Larue Weller and a lot of other people that you probably know. Cheers. So who is William Larue Weller? Well, his father was Samuel Weller, a second-generation distiller, and his mother was Phoebe Larue, and their family was obviously into distilling as well. So when he was born, you kind of already knew what he was going to do with his life. Eventually, he grew up and became a whiskey dealer and then a distiller himself, and he started W.L. Weller and Brothers. Now, this is what bothers me just a little bit, and I'm going to speak as a younger brother here. He called it W.L. Weller and Brothers. Well, obviously, W.L. standing for William Larue and Brothers, and he started it with his brother Charlie, so Charlie does not get any credit in this story, and I don't know Charlie's story, okay? But what I do know is always being Rob's little brother, Rob is my brother, by the way, it kind of hurts that it's William Larue Weller and Brothers, and then he ends up changing it to William Larue Weller and Sons. They don't even care about Charlie anymore. Charlie's gone. I don't know, maybe Charlie died. I don't know Charlie's story too much. If you know a little bit more about Charlie Larue Weller, I guess his middle name wouldn't be Larue. If you know about Charlie Weller, I want to learn about him because he's the important one in this. He probably kept William Larue in line. He probably actually did all the work while William Larue just collected all the money. But I digress. Then, like I said, it became William Larue Weller and Sons. Well, William actually hired a gentleman, you probably know him, Julian Van Winkle. He goes by Pappy Van Winkle. And after his passing, obviously of William Larue, not of Pappy, he ended up taking over the company, keeping William Larue's son, George, the president of the company for the time. That was up until Prohibition. When Prohibition hits, they actually merged with another company with a gentleman named Arthur Stitzel. You probably heard of him as well. And we have, you guessed it, Stitzel and Weller. This story always amazed me because it's three of the most prominent people in whiskey history to date, and they were all involved with each other. Now it just goes to show you that the rich stay rich and walk on the backs of their younger brothers. But I digress. This is an absolute fantastic bottle. In 1999, Buffalo Trace bought the William Larue Weller line, and now they have all the Wellers, the special reserves, the antique, the Weller full proof, and whatever Wellers are out there is owned by Buffalo Trace. So, a little bit of history, a lot of people, and a great story. Here's to Charles. But that's enough history for today. Ladies and gentlemen, this bottle took second place all by itself at a 9.30, and it deserves to be up there if you ask me. If you have the opportunity to buy this bottle right here, do not hesitate. If you want to trade somebody for it, if you want to spend a little bit of extra money on it, that's fine. Don't go overboard, right? The secondary market's crazy. I've seen these out there for a lot of money. They don't deserve that, but what they do deserve is second spot in the Bourbon of the Week ranking sheet. What do you guys think? Cheers. But listen, before I sign off, make sure you click that like, make sure you click that subscribe button. I'm trying to get a sticker, a Bourbon of the Week sticker in all 50 states. I already have like 18, 19 states covered. So if your state isn't covered or you are already covered, but you want a sticker anyway, message me on Instagram at Bourbon of the Week. Go click follow over there. If you want to come chat with us 24/7, we have a Discord, almost 200 members. I think we're over 200 members at this point. Come join our Discord. If you want to help support the channel out financially, get opened up to a bunch more perks, our own Discord channel. We talk all the time. We help each other out find bottles. We got a lot of cool stuff going on there. Once a month meetups as well. Check out our Patreon page. That link is in the description below. Please don't drink and drive. Always drink responsibly and stay healthy, stay happy, stay drinking. Cheers, y'all.